Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management, a fee-only fiduciary uniquely equipped to assist with a variety of clients from the greatest generation to millennials, and contained within those groups are Generation X, and that's what we're going to talk about. To do so, I'm joined by Kyle Svetlik, Wealth Manager at Annex Wealth Management. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Danny.
So you're going to have to be an honorary Gen Xer because I found out you're actually an old millennial. There is such a thing.
Doesn't that sound weird coming off your tongue? Old millennial. That's where we're at today, but I am happy to fill the shoes and be an honorary Gen Xer today with you.
Most of Gen X is not on the doorstep of retirement, but they're definitely in the neighborhood. And that means increased focus, taking definitive steps. Many Gen Xers performing a balancing act. They've got careers, they've got kids, they've got aging parents, which means they're in the sandwich generation. They got college debt. It would be natural, but it would be a mistake to put off investment and retirement planning.
I agree. And I think if you're sitting in that seat of being a Generation Xer, right now, the check engine light's got to be on. If it's in your car, you can find reasons to ignore it, or you have something that comes up that's more important. You've got kids you got to take to school and you don't want to take it into the shop to get it fixed. Same thing goes for financial planning and retirement planning. And we found that this is more profound in Generation X than it is in millennials or baby boomers, and it's delaying, and there's consequences to that. So if you end up delaying your planning for retirement, you might find out that you're in a situation later in life that gives you financial strain, maybe a reduction of the lifestyle that you want to have, and it might make you more reliant on Social Security. Generation X isn't as trusting in the Social Security payments as maybe the baby boomers were. And that fact of being reliant on that income stream is going to probably cause a little angst, or you're going to have a punch to the stomach when you hear that.
Interesting to note that Gen X, they're going to be the first to reach retirement after the shift from defined benefit plans like pensions to 401ks. Kyle, at this point for Gen Xers, how important is to reassess risk or align a portfolio and plan? They're coming to Annex with a collection of investments, but probably a ton of overlap.
Yeah, and one of the things we do here at Annex when you come aboard, we'll take a look at the allocations that you have in just not your IRA accounts, but in your 401k accounts. And you might think that because you're invested in a 2030 target date account, or you're invested in a large cap growth account, or you have an investment in a weighted S&P index, you have diversification. And that might be a misconception, because in all of those funds, you could have underlying assets that are the same sector or even the same companies to a high degree. So something we want to take a look at is how well are you really allocated in these accounts? And we find that sometimes there is a lot of overlap. If you're in the tech sector, you've done well over the last year and a half, but that might not be where you need to be for the next 2, 3, 4, or 5 years down the road. So we want to take a look at that and make sure you're properly allocated into your funds.
We're with Kyle Svetlik, Wealth Manager at Annex Wealth Management, talking about Gen X and retirement. And I often read that Gen X, they feel the deck is stacked against them. They often wonder if they'll ever be able to retire. There was a retirement survey that revealed 61% of Gen Xers aren't confident in their ability to achieve that dream retirement. And that's a heavy load.
I would agree. A heavy load. And what's dream retirement? Is that sitting in Florida 6 months out of the year, or is that just making the ability to pay your bills so you can pay your bills on time and you have a stream of income coming in that's satisfied by your IRA accounts and Social Security, but maybe annuities that you have off to the sidelines? So what does that dream retirement look like? And when I was reading through that survey as well, it sounded like Gen Xers just want to get to the finish line. They just want to get to retirement, and their dream retirement's just making the ends meet to pay the bills, which in all opinions should not be how you plan and set up for retirement. It should be, how do I get to the finish line strong so that I can go and do the things I want to do in retirement? I want a vacation. I want to take the kids to Disney World. If you want to go to Disney World, you have to start saving today for those trips. And you want to make sure that you're able to bless your family with that.
If they've got ground to make up, Catchup Contributions, that could make a huge difference, right?
Yeah, Catchup Contributions are big. If you're 50 or older and you have an IRA and you can contribute into an IRA account based off of your income and where you're at with a 401k plan, you can put up an extra $1,000. Right now, under 50, it's $7,000 for an IRA. An extra $1,000 puts you up to $8,000 a year. And in your 401k, 403b, your employer plans, you actually can put up to $23,000 away in those. And then you have an additional catch-up, which is $7,500. So if you start putting away today, you could effectively almost put away $40,000 a year if you're trying to catch up into retirement. And if you have 10 years, 15 years out, that can really make a big dent in that concern that you're not going to be able to retire on time and really give you a prosperous retirement.
So we're singling out Gen X in this segment. I'm a boomer. I've got the same challenges. You might too, folks. Website annexwealth.com. Click that Get Started button. Kyle Svetlik, Wealth Manager, Annex Wealth Management. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Danny.